Media outlets reported that during an interview with NBC News, Ukrainian President Zelensky asked this question of U.S. presidential candidates. If any candidate thinks supporting Ukraine is too costly, are they ready to go to war? Are they ready to fight? Are they ready to send their children to die? They will have to do it anyway if NATO enters the war. And if Ukraine fails and Russia occupies us, they will move on to the Baltics or Poland or some other NATO country. And then the United States will have to choose between keeping NATO or entering the war. To begin with, Mr. Zelensky, you are asking the wrong people these questions. You need to ask those questions of the American people, not politicians. So as an American citizen and one of many Republican leaders in my country, I have answers to your questions. First, who do you think you are trying to bully and intimidate America into a ground war with Russia? You should be thanking God for the support you have received from our pockets and our bank accounts. Such tactics do not sit very well with the American people. Second, you need to understand that in America, the people, not political candidates and office holders, will determine if any war is too costly, including your war. And soon the American people will make that decision. Third, Americans are always ready, willing, and able to fight for our freedoms and our liberties and our individual rights. But the key word here that you seem to miss is spelled O-U-R. Our rights, our freedoms, our liberties, not yours. Americans always have been willing to send our children into harm's way for the causes of freedom, liberty, and individual rights. But let me be clear. We are not willing to send our children to fight endless wars on the terms of any foreign politician, including you. And furthermore, I, for one, am not sold on the idea that Russia would invade a NATO country. So to use that speculation, not fact, as a tactic in an attempt to scare the American people into submission just backfired on you. Finally, we will not have to choose between fighting for NATO later or fighting for your war now. This is Europe's war, not ours. This war has nothing to do with U.S. national security. This is a political war we don't belong in. We in America heard this song and dance years ago from politicians like you at a different place and a different time. The time, 1960s. The place, Vietnam. The end result, 58,000 plus Americans killed in action and thousands more wounded for what? Mr. Zelensky, know this. As one American who loves my country and despises war and believes the United States of America should defend our national security interests at all costs, has concluded, like millions of Americans, that the time and place to defend our national security interests is not now and not in Ukraine. My comments are not to be construed as a defense of Russia's actions, for their hands are not clean either. But this is a defense of my country with words that need to be said from an American citizen sitting on a seat in Main Street, USA, instead of from some politician sitting on a seat in an Ivy Tower. I will do everything I can as one American citizen to prevent one drop of American blood from being spilled in that war. Mr. Zelensky, you owe the American people an apology, and how about some gratitude for the sacrifices we have made up until now? I'm Lieutenant Stephen Rogers.